How's it going, guys? Hope you've been feeling the spirit recently. Today I'm going to talk about kind of an odd topic. I'm going to go over practice. And it seems very, very simple, but it might be a little bit more complex than you think. For those of you like myself that shoot for bow hunting and, things of that nature, you're probably practicing with a heavier weight bow. This bow here is like 47 pounds. So you're typically not going to be shooting a 35 or 30-pound bow that most target archers might be using. And you might be, the same as me and everybody else. The more you practice, the better you get. But the thing is that might not actually be the case. One revelation that I've had in recent practice sessions or just shooting the bow is that the less I practice, the better I shoot. And you might be like, well, that sounds crazy. There's two factors that goes into how easy it is to shoot a bow like this. On a compound bow, fatigue does matter as well, but for a traditional bow, your fatigue is going to set in very, very quickly. If you're shooting a hunting weight bow, 40 plus pounds, you're going to start experiencing fatigue very quickly. And one thing that I notice especially is the rear delt in my shoulder that is used whenever the bow is being pushed and held out. As soon as that starts getting sore and starts getting fatigued, I need to put the bow up and go back inside, because every shot after that is going to be, weird things are going to start happening. I'm going to start dropping the bow or slinging the bow around or whatever. That being said, fatigue is something that you're really going to have to pay attention to, because when you start making bad shots, you're like, well, I got to fix what's wrong. But what's wrong is that you're just fatigued. Just put the bow down for a little bit and then come back and pick it up later. The sentiment of shooting one arrow at a time is great for practicing for hunting scenarios, because you're only shooting one arrow. You're only going to get one arrow. Shooting one arrow at a time is also going to help, because it's going to reduce the amount of fatigue, and you have more time to shoot, go get the arrow, come back, and you're going to significantly reduce the amount of fatigue that can set in within a period of time. If, I've got 5 arrows in my quiver, but if I shoot all 5 of them 2 rounds, I'm starting to get fatigued, because I hold for a good amount of time. Depending on how long you hold the bow, it's, fatigue's going to set in quicker. For me, that golden area is about 15 shots. I've got 15 shots from the second I walk out the door with my bow to come down here, stand at this target however far I want to practice. I have 15 shots. And that's shooting slow, but I have 15 shots. So whenever I came out here and shot yesterday, I would shoot 1 or 2 arrows. I'd go and get them, did that, shot about 6 times, and then I'd sit there and stand around for a minute. My dad was out here, so I talked to him for a little bit, and then I'd shoot a couple more arrows. And I was shooting at 44 yards, and I was this block target behind me. I was pretty much almost touching the center dot. That's unheard of from me. I'm usually never that good. What made me that good? It was how comfortable I was whenever I was shooting. I wasn't fatigued, so I could pull back that bow and just sit there. Nothing was shaking, nothing was moving. I was just holding the bow back. And I wasn't fatigued at all. I could hold that bow back all day long until it felt exactly right. And whenever I was releasing that arrow, I was cleanly releasing the string. Everything was just perfect. Depending on how you shoot, if you shoot quicker or shoot more snappy, like more of like a snapshot, you're gonna get away with a lot more shots. But like even the other day in the gym, I noticed when I'm doing any type of lat exercise, I can pull 20 more pounds with this lat than I can with this one, just because of shooting my bow all the time. You really got to build up that strength and get to the point to where you can sit out here and just shoot and shoot if you want to be consistent and shoot that much. That fatigue is going to matter. And the thing is if you shoot every single day, if you look at it from like a exercising standpoint, you're just fatiguing that muscle even further until you start to make it stronger. But as you're fatiguing that muscle, it takes a couple days for it to fully recover. So you might get 20 good shots today, and then you come out here tomorrow and in 10 shots you're fatigued. Put it up, go back inside. The next day you might get 11, then the next day you might get 12, the next day you might get 13. But taking a couple days of a break might be something that's really beneficial for your shooting. I've shot less than I ever have this summer, and every time I've come out here, hooked an arrow on this string, I can about touch that black center dot. You know, it's about 2 inches across in diameter, and I could about hit it every time from 30 yards. Something I could never do before. But I practiced every day. I wore the crap out of this deer target right here. As you can see, there's a huge hole in it. This dice target, I had those for like 1 summer. Wore both of those targets completely out. And I shot like crap. And it was because of overtraining, over-practicing. I was super fatigued, and I just needed to put the bow down for a few days. Which leads me into my second point as well. Confidence. Your confidence matters so much when it comes to shooting this bow. And if you get fatigued and then you start shooting like crap, your confidence is going to start going, especially if you're shooting instinctive. If you're shooting instinctive and you have no confidence in your abilities, you're not going to hit the target. I mean, it gets that bad. It gets to that point to where you can almost untrain yourself to shoot instinctive, and you stop being able to feel. You start guessing rather than feeling that you're on target. You just start guessing whether you're on target or not. And that is not a recipe for success. That is a recipe for disaster. You really have to try to manage your fatigue. That way your confidence can stay high. I mean, I've even went like 2 weeks without shooting. Just come out here, shoot about 5 arrows from about 10 yards, turn around, walk back in the house. Don't shoot again for 2 weeks. Come out here, walk up to about 20 yards, and I'm still just dead center of that target. The only thing I can attribute to that is that since I was managing my fatigue and I was only shooting good shots, I was only making good shots, that my confidence went up. And now I'm like, well, I don't even have to shoot every day, and I can still come out here and 44 yards, step back there, pull back, and let an arrow go and center punch this target. Practice is going to be everything. No matter how you shoot, no matter how you aim, practice is going to be everything, because you want it just to be a second part of you. But you can be like me, and you can get addicted into getting better, start doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing, and then you start screwing up your shot that way. Or you start over practicing, you get fatigued, you make a couple bad shots, and you have to fix it before you, and then you're like, oh, well, I found a way to fix it, and then you really didn't fix anything. You just made your shooting worse because you completely changed your anchor when all you needed to do was set the bow down, go inside for 10 minutes, come back out here, and you would have been completely fine. That was the only difference. But instead, you changed your anchor point, and now you got to relearn all your gaps or all your string walks or whatever because you changed your anchor point. Not a good idea, especially for an instinctive guy. It's good to shoot often. You know, my recommendation would be just shoot an arrow a day. At least 1 arrow a day. Keep your instincts in tune. You know, life gets busy and you're not going to shoot. And that's what made me realize this, is I just wasn't shooting as much this summer. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, crap, I haven't practiced that much, and it's September. You know, got a month and hunt season starts. If I get time and can go to West Virginia, their season opens a weekend earlier than ours does. So I've got a month to practice, and that's never where you want to be. You don't want to put yourself in that predicament. So I'm like, well, I need to get out here and shoot, because I took those gaps where I was busy and working and didn't have time to shoot. All of a sudden I'm shooting better, which made me realize I lost the confidence in myself because of fatigue. It was strictly because I was just shooting too much. It's the only thing that made any sense. I was just shooting because the summer I practiced the most was the season I shot the worst. Last year I didn't practice as much, shot a heck of a lot better. This year I haven't practiced even as much as I did last summer. I'm shooting even better than I ever have. The only thing that I can account it to is just the management of my fatigue and good practice sessions. There's no point in practicing if you're not doing anything good. To come outside, manage your fatigue, shoot 1 or 2 arrows at a time, and as soon as you start feeling sore, say, I just need to put it up and be done for the day. Come back out tomorrow or the next couple days, wait a couple days, and then do it again. Good practice, I know, it gets addicting when you start shooting a bow and you see the arrow's going right where you're looking. It gets addicting. I get it. But you just got to learn to, okay, I'm fatigued, I'm not shooting good, I need to stop while I'm ahead. And if you are shooting bad because of fatigue, you got to get it through your head that it's not a technique problem. It's not a form problem. It's not where your anchor point is. It's not that you're not touching your tooth to the back of your canine. It's just your tongue to the back of your canine. Like it's none of that crap. It's legitimately, you're just fatigued. Yeah, you can continue to shoot, whatever. But you have to understand, don't change anything because of that. If you were shooting good before, don't change anything because of that. You're only missing because you're fatigued. And I'll take a practice shot just so that you can see. This is how long I typically hold the bow back. Probably 3 seconds if I had to guess. When I get farther back, that time extends a little bit. Now, I'm not going to walk all the way back there just to show you, but I'll try to see if I can mimic it in my head. But while I'm not fatigued, I have full control over this bow. Even if I hold for 10 seconds, I have full control over this bow. And on that second shot, I felt that I was a little bit too high. So I was able to bring my arm down. And since I wasn't fatigued and I'm not fighting the bow like that, I just, and dead on, it hit the dot. When you're fatigued, you might not be able to hold the bow back as long, and that's just not what you want. It's essentially what it boils down to. You don't have control over the bow. So, one thing right now, I'm talking in between shots, which is great because I have time for my fatigue in my rear delt and in my back to settle back down and to regain my strength back. And then whenever I'm finally ready to shoot, I can turn around and hold for a long time. It was about 10 seconds. I started to lose control towards the end, but I held control over the bow and my form the whole entire time. And I don't think about it, being instinctive, I don't think about how far my back's rotated or whatever. I just have to feel like my hand is in the right spot. Just manage your fatigue. Your shots will come out smoother. Even if you're a target archer that's going to shoot multiple groups, shoot a group and then go sit inside. Shoot one group and then, take a little bit of time to be like, okay, this is how big the group is. I could probably tighten it up here. Think about it for a little while and then shoot your next group and allow yourself to reduce that fatigue, get your strength back, and then take your time. Like if I come out here and shoot this full quiver of arrows without stopping, I'm going to be so fatigued, I'm not going to be able to hold the bow back. But like I'm doing right now, talking and then turning around, I didn't think that knock worked, but it turned on. It's dim, but it turned on. But I can take that time and just really settle into my shot. You know, scratch my arm right here, talk a little bit, get on to my next point, give myself a little bit of time, and then I'll pull back and shoot. So, those arrows are flying crazy. I really need to knock tune them. Yeah, getting everything ready for season. So, I've got 3 practice arrows that really need knock tuning. I don't know if the camera would pick it up, but they were going like that. Pretty bad. I need to fix that. It's one thing that will greatly improve your shooting. It's one thing that I had to realize, and it sucks to think about. You know, I go to the gym almost 7 days a week. So I'm constantly a little bit of muscle fatigue. You got to take that into account. Like, if I go hit shoulders, my rear delts are going to be killed, and then if I come out here and try to shoot my bow, it's not going to go very well. So I'm not going to be able to control it. I only get 1 or 2 good shots, and then I need to go back inside and put the bow up. It's the one thing that saved me, like, legitimately. Stop worrying about shooting so many. Just come out here, shoot some good shots, and then go back inside, think about it, and take time in between your shots. Shoot 1 arrow at a time. The best thing you can do is just shoot 1 arrow at a time. But yeah, getting ready for season, getting everything ready, and then hopefully, well, squirrel season will start soon. Dove season starts tomorrow. So yeah, maybe make a couple videos, hunting squirrels, hunting doves, but other than that, be getting ready for deer season come September. And then first weekend of October starts our bow season. So I'm going to be hitting it pretty hard because I'm dying to go. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you've been feeling the spirits, how I start the video. I don't know. I'm losing it. Starving. Anyway, yeah. Thank Lord for a beautiful day. Even though it rained, it quit. I was able to record this video to get this knowledge out to the world. But anyway, yeah, stay tuned for deer season. Maybe I'll make some more videos like this, but I just don't shoot a lot. So I've covered all the basics in videos. It's hard to make these videos when you have nothing to talk about. So if you'd like some ideas of stuff you want to see, leave it down in the comments. And either I'll see you again talking about bows, or I'll see you again when we're sitting in the woods getting ready to whack something. So y'all stay tuned, keep on feeling the spirit.